Hello, happy Friday. We're on the cusp of another long weekend. Welcome to the Aston Social Lab. For any newcomers that have joined us today, the lab is a series of short masterclasses to help you upskill in the world of social media. My name is Ellen and I'm an associate here at Aston Social. Our goal is to help you grow your business online. Now, we're often hearing from our clients that they don't understand the difference between Meta Business Manager and Meta Business Suite. You might also know these as Facebook Business Manager and Facebook Business Suite, but they've recently changed names, as you might know. To be honest, even we were a bit stumped by it when they first emerged on the platform. Facebook has a bit of a habit of introducing new features out of nowhere. There's been a lot of different sections and options in both of these platforms, so it can feel like you've been thrown into the deep end. But once you understand how they work, you'll realize that these tools are actually there to help you manage your business on Facebook, not to confuse you. So today we're going to focus just on Business Manager, and then in our next session in a couple of weeks, we'll delve more deeply into Business Suite. They need to take 2 sessions, I think, to understand properly. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to drop them in the Q&A section below. We'll also have some question time at the end. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. You can probably all see that now. So let's begin a guide to Meta or Facebook Business Manager. So today what we're going to go through is a little overview of Meta Business Manager and then an overview of Meta Business Suite, and then look at how it differs to Business Manager. Then we're going to look at how to set up a Business Manager account. So we'll do a little step-by-step guide. And then also lastly, how to actually use the platform. So once you've created it, we'll give you a step-by-step guide on how to actually use it and navigate your way through the platform. So to begin with, what is Meta Business Manager? So Meta Business Manager, formerly known as Facebook Business Manager, serves as a one-stop shop to manage business tools, business assets, and employee access to these assets. So long story short, it's a place where you manage all of your Facebook marketing and advertising activities. What's so good about Meta Business Manager and why should you use it? Firstly, it keeps your business activities separate from your personal profile, so it's good to keep the 2 separate. Number 2, it allows you to give vendors, partners, and agencies like us access to your pages and ads without actually having to hand over ownership of the assets. Back in the day, you would just hand over the keys and everyone would have access to everything that you owned. Now it's a bit more protected. You can control what level of access people have to keep everything safe. And then number 3, you can manage all of your Facebook business assets all in the one place. So it's a bit of a one-stop shop. So what is Meta Business Suite? Meta Business Suite, also known as Facebook Business Suite, is a free tool that centralizes Facebook and Instagram all in the one place. You can manage everything from page notifications, messages, and posts, while also being able to track insights and trends. So how do these 2 compare, Manager versus Suite? So Business Manager is the back end, ownership and access. And then Business Suite is the front end management. So where you create and schedule posts, reply to messages, those sorts of things. So Business Manager is where you manage all the back end things like who controls what pages are linked to what assets. And then in Business Suite, you actually manage the pages, most of the day-to-day types of things like posting. Now, how do you actually set up a Business Manager account? Because it does appear quite tricky, but I promise you it's not. So step 1 is nice and simple. You actually go to business.facebook.com and click that nice big blue Create Account button on the top right. And then step 2, it brings up this pop-up to create the account. And this is where you enter the name of your business or account name, but recommended to keep it to your business name because if you are adding other people to it, they'll understand what it is. And then you add your name and you're essentially adding yourself as a user to the account. So this is still part of your personal Facebook profile, but you'll be viewed as your Facebook profile won't be shown publicly to everyone else in the business manager account. It'll be separate. And then step 3, you add your business pages. So once the account's been created, you can add existing pages that you own or create a new one altogether. If you manage pages for clients or other businesses like we do, you can also request access to someone else's page. So you've created your account, this little pop-up will appear, and it allows you to add pages, add accounts, and add people. I'm going to show you how to do all 3 of these. So we'll start off looking at the page first. So there's 3 options. You can add a page you already own, which will most likely be the case. You can also add someone else's page. So for example, us as an agency might need to request access to your Facebook page or business manager account, so we can request access and put in the details, and it sends you an email notification saying that Aston Social has requested access. Or you can create a new page from scratch if you're beginning from scratch. So once you've added your Facebook page, the next step is to add your ad account. So one important thing to note is once you add your ad account to Business Manager, you can't remove it. So it's important to only add accounts that you own because it gets very messy. If you want to access a client account, it's best to request access instead. So when you click an add account, it's a bit of a tongue twister, it brings you this pop-up. So you can create an ad account from scratch if you don't already have one. You can add someone else's ad account by requesting access, or you can add your own ad account. I've done that the wrong way around. Step 5 is to add people to help manage your assets. So you've got all your pages, all your ad accounts in there. Now it's time to actually add the people who will be managing these in addition to yourself. So you can add team members, so you can have a whole group of people working on your Facebook business page and ad campaigns together. And you can decide what level of access you're going to give these individuals. You could choose employee access, or you can give them full access, which is the admin level, which basically enables them to control everything within the business manager account. So just be careful with what level of access you select, depending on the person. So when you go to invite a person, you'll get this pop-up and it asks you to enter their email address. Now, it doesn't have to be the email address that they're using for their Facebook account. It can be their work email. And then in turn, it'll ask them to log in using their personal account. But again, it won't be publicly shown to everyone else. And then below that, you tick the box to assign what business role you want to give them. So employee access or admin access. So just to recap, employee access only allows them to work on assigned accounts and tools, whereas the admin access gives them complete control. So they can edit things in the settings, they can add, remove people, pages, ad accounts, Instagram accounts, you name it. So once you've put in the person's email and chosen the level of access, it'll bring up all the assets that you own. So on the left-hand side there, you've got pages, ad accounts, catalogs, and apps. You basically go through all of those and tick the ones that you want to give them access to. So in this example, we're giving access to the Aston Social page. In the middle there, if you've got multiple pages, you'll see all of the pages in that list, in that middle section. And then on the right there, where it's got set permissions, you choose what permissions you want to give them. The way it's set up here is you're giving them access to create and post content. If you wanted them to manage jobs and other things, you would scroll down to the bottom and keep ticking the boxes so they're blue. And then you click invite, and then the invitation gets sent to them, and then they choose to accept. Same thing again, just showing how to add someone to your ad account. So the ad account section has been selected under asset type, and the asset, which is called Aston Social, that's the ad account. And then on the right there, setting the permissions again. So in this case, it's only been ticked that the person can manage campaigns. They can't actually manage the ad account meaning, they can't add credit card details and access invoices and things like that. Step 6 is to add all the other relevant assets. So now that you've got all your Facebook assets set up, you can now connect all of the other assets required for managing your account. So this includes, but it's not limited to, other Instagram accounts that you own, pixels that you use for advertising and tracking, catalogs if you've got a retail store, and then domains. So now you've set up your account. How do you actually use it? Let's do a little step-by-step tutorial. Users. So this is where you see all of the people who fall under your business and control what assets they have access to and their role under each asset. So you can also manage other agencies, like we've said, who have access to your assets. And then there's also a section called system users, which is apps essentially. You probably won't touch that. So when you've got your account open, this is what it should look like. So on the left-hand side in the menu there, you'll see users, people, partners, and system users. I've got myself there as the example and my colleague Daniel as the people in this business manager account. And then when you click on my name, you can see what assets I've been assigned to. So there you can see I've been assigned to the Aston Social Facebook page and the Aston Social Instagram account. If I wanted to add more, you just click that Add Assets button, and then you can select what else you want to add that user to. Actually, I'll take a step back there. If you wanted to do the same thing for agencies, you just click the partners section and follow the same process. And it'll look exactly like this, except it will have the agency name rather than the individual. Next up is accounts. So this is a breakdown of all the pages, ad accounts, apps, Instagram accounts, and WhatsApp accounts that you own or have access to under your business. So again, we see the screen of Business Manager. We're under the accounts pages section, so we can see all the pages that are owned or that belong to this Business Manager account. So for this example, it's only the Aston Social one. And there you can see under people that it's myself and Daniel there as the people who have access to the page. And then if you clicked on that partners tab below add people and assign partners, you'd be able to see if there was an agency who also had access to the page. Again, it would just be the agency name, not the individual. Data sources is the next one. So your data sources track the actions. So actions means views, adds to carts, purchases, things like that, that people take on your website, mobile app, or in your store. So data sources are effectively your pixels, your catalogs, and other offline events. So again, looking at Business Manager, we've got the pixels section clicked because it's probably the one that you're going to use the most out of all of them. We've got just the one pixel in there, the Aston Social pixel. And then there you can see who is able to manage it. So you've got myself and Daniel again. If you went to the partners section, you could see if an agency had access. And then in the next tab, connected assets, that's where you would link your pixel to your ad account. It's important to do that because if you don't and you go to create an ad, the pixel won't actually appear as one of the options. So you need to make sure that all of your assets are properly connected. Brand safety is next. So under this umbrella, you can choose where and how your content appears. So this includes domain verification and block lists. So apps, people, and pages that you've basically blocked from your page or your account. Domain verification is one I'm going to highlight. It's pretty important at the moment with the iOS 14 that's come out. It helps with your tracking, making sure that you're actually reaching people on iOS 14 that have been blocked from being able to track their movements in their browser. So again, here's brand safety, and we're in the domain section. You can see astonsocial.com.au has been verified by our Business Manager account. So to do that, there's a bit of code that you need to insert on your website just to verify it. Speak to your web developer about the best way to go about that. But again, you can see who is assigned to the domain and what assets they're connected to. So again, you'd need to connect it to your pixel and to your ad account for them to all link together. And then there's some other sections below that, which you probably won't look at, but I will mention them anyway. This includes registrations, which is more for news pages, integrations, which are leads. So for example, if you use Salesforce, you could link it to your Facebook Business Manager account. And when you create ads, you can have them automatically add to your Salesforce lead generator. You can also add payment methods for your ad accounts. There's a security center and also requests, which is just people wanting to request access to your Business Manager account. So that's our guide to Business Manager. If you have any questions, drop them in the box. Otherwise, stay tuned, because in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be doing an in-depth look at Business Suite and how to navigate that. So just to kind of recap what we went through today, Business Manager is the back end, so managing users and their access to your assets, so pages, Instagram accounts, ad accounts, domains, pixels. And then Business Suite, we're actually going to look at how you use it to manage your page. So responding to comments, messages, posting content, posting stories, scheduling, and even reporting. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.